Welcome back to the Pitch Pod. My name is Joe Janner. With me, my co-host Jeff Stebbins. How you doing, Jeff?
Joe, I am doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm excited to be talking about the Champions League today.
Well, I think you're probably trying to say you're feeling amazing because you nailed the Atletico versus Dortmund result, right? Why don't you go ahead and just tell us about that, and we'll go on and look forward to leg two. Tell us about what you did there.
Well, I wasn't going to toot my own horn, but since you already threw that shout out there, I appreciate it. Yeah, so nailed the prediction, got the ring dinger, predicted Atletico would win leg one at the score line that I gave, and nailed it. Got it dead right. And we're looking at leg two, and I think it's going to be another close match between them and Dortmund. But yeah, in our rankings, I did move up, Joe, and on our chart, I am currently at 27 points to 21. So you're climbing, you're still in the competition, but
Okay.
that ring dinger gave me an extra 6 points there. So I'm sitting good for now.
Well, that helped. I mean, that was the one. I'll say it. That was the one that I also picked the correct result. Other than that, I was off a little bit. I mean, maybe I could say, hey, I picked that Bayern was going to score two, but Arsenal didn't win. That was a 2-2 draw. What did I say? I thought Real Madrid was going to win 2-1. It was 3-3. Come on, 3-3 draw in this game. How'd that happen? And then I thought PSG Barcelona was going to be a draw. Barcelona wins it 3-2, and that's where we're at. That's what we're looking at here going to the second leg.
Yeah, I had PSG winning that game, actually. I was thinking, hey, at home, Mbappe, let's go. And didn't turn out that way. Mbappe was pretty quiet. Maybe he, led some distraction and allowed their number 10 to get in on that same left wing, but he was pretty quiet, right? I was surprised to see that. So a lot of interesting results that we had, and I'm ready to kind of look at this upcoming week's Champions League matches and kind of reevaluate.
Okay. Well, I have first then Dortmund versus Atletico. I mean, that was the one that we looked and we said you got the ring dinger. How's it look for you going to the second leg? Was it enough for Atletico to go on in advance, or we guess he's a reverse of fortunes, if you will?
Well, here's the deal. So this one's at Dortmund. It was a close match in the first leg. You got to take all those things into consideration. I do think Dortmund's going to come out and play a better match at home, but I still think that this is going to be a draw 2-2. And with that draw, that means Atletico will still be moving forward. So that's where I'm at. I think it's going to be another close match, a brilliant match, but a 2-2 draw still allows Atletico to move forward in the Champions League, and that would put Dortmund, BVB out of the competition.
I got a little different take on this one. I think, at least over the last decade, Dortmund's done well, and they've gotten to these stages of the competition. They're at home. I mean, their supporters there. I mean, what was their stadium? Hold on, almost 80,000 people are going to be way into this. And could it just be enough? Let's say this, flip the script. Like I said, a reverse of fortune. Dortmund in and through regulation 2-1. Nobody scores in extra time. They go to penalty kicks, and Dortmund wins it. I'm just going to go there, Jeff, with this one already. Let's just get into some major drama and just get into this one right there and just say Dortmund wins it in penalty kicks. Can you believe it?
That is a bold prediction, but I could see it happening. So fair enough, Joe. That would be an exciting game if it went down to PKs. That 80,000 people live watching that game. That'd be something else.
Okay. Yeah. They would definitely get their money's worth on that one.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
Too exciting. Too much. On to the next.
Let's go.
Let's go. Barcelona, PSG,
Oof.
3-2 on the aggregate. You got it?
This is a tough one, Joe. This is the one I probably spent the most time thinking about, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And this time we're at Barcelona, and I was surprised Barcelona won the first leg. I was surprised how quiet Mbappe was. And going back and watching that game, wow, it's not like one team ran away with it. I mean, both team had opportunity after opportunity and just missing goals by that much. So this is a tough one, Joe. And both teams are just star-studded. You got Lewandowski, João Felix, Yamal. He's a 16-year-old Joe as one of the attackers for Barcelona, starting 16-year-old for Barcelona. Yamal. That's ridiculous. But really, the guy that had a big game for them, I don't know if you caught the game, Joe, but it was Rafi, the Brazilian player. Rafi, 2 goals, Joe.
I did see that. And that, I mean, when they went out and got that player, I think people were like, okay, well, let's see what he does. And then here's a big game. He shows up. That's a big result for them, And you didn't mention your buddy Lewandowski, right?
Oh yeah.
Is he right? I mean, maybe in this one, that's his time. So did you tell us I mean, how about the result though? How about all these players? Yes, but how about the result?
Right. So yeah, the first leg they did win, and in this match, whether Lewandowski, my guy, whether he scores or not, Joe, I think he's going to be involved in play, setting people up, making assists. So I'm not worried about him scoring or not. I'm worried about his overall play, which I think he's going to show up. And I think this is going to be another exciting match potentially. I think Barcelona is going to score 2 in regulation. PSG is going to score 3. And then we're going to go to PKs, Joe, on this one. And I have
No
Barcelona.
way.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I have
Okay.
Barcelona moving on this one. So it should be fun, should be exciting. And again, I have PSG winning the game point wise. However, the overall winner is going to be Barcelona and PKs. That's what I have, Joe.
So what you're saying is I'm not the only one that can have the dramatic prediction. I'm not the only one that can have this reverse of fortune into penalties and have the Barcelona go through. Okay. All right.
Let's get the drama.
Not so much for me on this one. Not so much. Barcelona, they know how to do this job. They know how to get this to the next stage here. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say easy, right? It's not going to be anything like that, but I don't see why they can't just win this 2-0 and just go through and just that in regulation and they're on with it. 2-0 Barcelona over PSG in this to go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would like that. I'm rooting for Barcelona to win. So I'm hoping that they pull that off. That'd be a good game, but PSG, they're dangerous. So to have them not scoring any, to have them going nil, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. On to the next. Bayern versus Arsenal. The fixture of, an opportunity for Barcelona to really get past this round. I mean, does it happen here?
This is another tough one. They're all tough at this point, right? The quarterfinals is all these teams are great teams. Again, I'm kind of looking at some of the headlining players from both sides. Bayern, you have to mention Harry Kane, cut through defenses. Arsenal, they have a variety of players that can step up. This is going to be another great competition. And yes, Bayern has an advantage being at home on this one. I don't know, Joe. What are some thoughts after that first leg?
Well, I mean, we talked about it, the idea that, well, Arsenal it's been some time, but now here they were. They had the opportunity for it to end 2-2. They probably, I mean, an understatement, would have liked to have won, right? To be in a little bit different situation. Because what they've shown, what Arsenal has shown, I mean, in terms of what they can do defensively, had they gone and just one by one and then had to go out on the road and just all they had to do is just get by, it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole bit different fixture to be going there if they're up one and being able to set up and just be, more or less a defensive side and maybe look to counter as they have showed success and been able to do within their domestic league. But this is different now. This is where they're going to have to probably open up and they're going to probably have to score. And it's going to be, man, it's a real challenge. It's going to be a real challenge for them. And I don't know. And you mentioned him, Harry Kane. It's just something about him being there at this level of competition. It just makes me think Bayern has an advantage here. I have them winning it. I think just by the narrow margin, 1-0.
Okay. Yeah, so you have Bayern moving forward in this competition.
That would be it.
That would be it. Okay, wow. So I do agree. I think it's going to be a close match, and I could see that playing out. But overall, I think Arsenal is a more talented squad, and I'm going to have to go with the Gunners moving on here. I'm going to go 2-1, Arsenal winning, Arsenal advancing, which would be great for them. And again, maybe they're not my pick right now to win the Premier League, even though they're at the top of the chart. But this might be their year to go pretty darn far in this tournament here, the Champions League. So I think that'd be a big deal for Arsenal to make it that far.
Wow, if they do, it would be big time. And we talked about before, probably maybe out of, I don't know, especially where Bayern had been performing, like this was the matchup they might have wanted more than any other. So then again, to go in there, but I know, I just think the story ends for Arsenal at Bayern. It's going to be a good game though. I'm sure it's going to be good. I mean, it's not going to let anybody down as far as how they perform by any means. I think it's just going to be the situation. I think it's going to be, again, when I mentioned it, Harry Kane on the pitch just seems to find a way to score and at home. So it's going to be a good game though. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. And then the one that I think we're probably sitting pretty close on this one, Joe. I don't know your prediction, but Man City, Real Madrid, what are some initial thoughts going into this? And again, I don't know what your score line prediction is, but I have a feeling we're probably pretty close on this one. That's just what my gut's telling me.
I mean, after that game, after 3-3, when you'd think it might be something that would lend itself to both teams playing more conservative to start, but I mean, it, opened up and looked to play. Going in the second leg, wow. It's tough. This is really a tough one because you've heard me say before, it's Real Madrid's tournament, and here they are. They're against Manchester City side that just isn't quite at the level that we've seen. Not to take anything away, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that they're still not top of the class championship caliber team and possibly easily could win this. Not only this match, but go through and win it all. But again, I go back. Real Madrid in this stage of the tournament, their tournament, win it 2-0.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, my gut was wrong, Joe. I did not have that as my prediction. So you have Real Madrid moving forward. This is their tournament. They're going to beat Man City and move forward. That's what I'm hearing.
I said it. That's what I said.
You said it. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. And I'm just making sure of one other thing. I know that Phil Foden had a huge game. Silva had a huge game for Man City in their last matchup. On the other side, Rodrigo had a big one. Valverde. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the correct lineup that I thought that Pep ran. Okay, yeah, that is what I thought. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to verify before I put my prediction out there. Okay. We're at Man City. Yes, both teams are amazing. There's one thing, Joe. Leg one, Man City was missing one guy. They were missing KDB. He was not on the pitch that match. And I think he's going to be ready for this one, the second leg. And Man City's a completely different team. You can say Haaland's the MVP, Haaland this, Haaland that. Well, it seems like when KDB is not playing, Haaland's not playing at the same level. And so I'm planning on KDB being in the match, being healthy. And if that is the case at home for Man City, I don't see how they don't run away with this. So we'll see, but I have a feeling Man City's going to win this. I think Pep's going to have them up and motivated for the moment at home. Man City's going to win this 3-1.
Wow. An excellent point, though. We've talked about KDB in that lineup, getting to play. It is a whole different team. It's almost become cliche. We've said it over and over, but it's reality. And so that makes sense. I know. It might have gone that way, but I just something tells me that Real Madrid. But I can see it going 3-1 as well. Either way,
yeah,
it'd be good. I mean, it should be a good game. Great game.
It's gonna be fun, and I think it's gonna be a close competition either way. And and fans are going to show up and tune in to all of these games. Really, I think they're going to be exciting. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up, Joe?
I think this again, just reemphasizing and mentioning that in this competition, Champions League quarterfinals, 8 great teams, 8 clubs, historical, significantly clubs that are there to show us what good football looks like, and I think that's why we get excited. I'm looking forward to all these games.
Exactly. Me too. And Joe, this is the point in the show. We're going to get a little biased here. Okay.
Okay.
What team, not what team do you think would win it, Joe? Because that's what the show is all about, is what teams, using analysis, what team do we think is going to win? What team do you want to win, Joe? Or what team are you the biggest fan of out of these 8 teams left that you want to see just run away with this tournament?
Really, because I've talked about it a little bit, I'll say it. Arsenal, with their history and their time, as far as their time away from being at this phase, I think that's almost, of that group of 8 there, maybe the biggest underdog. Kind of fun to be rooting for the underdog in this phase, looking to see a historical win and to go on. So that would be mine at this point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's been a while for them. Yeah. I am also kind of picking my underdog, if you will. And if Atletico went all the way, I would be thrilled. I would love to see them go far and far in the tournament as far as they possibly can. So that'd be great. But yeah, if either teams made it that far, that'd be great. Just to make it this far, the quarterfinals, as you said, is a huge honor. And we'll be tuning in to watch here at the Pitch Pod. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. And till next time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what we bring you here at the Pitch Pod, please do us a favor, hit that like and that subscribe. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Thank you, everyone, and keep pitching out there.
In a game, the round ball, round posts, anything can happen.